TGIF, everybody. Welcome back to Leading Crypto. I'm CVO. Going to be going over Ethereum today for a nice little Friday weekly roundup. And we are back to going sideways for extended periods of time. So my last update was 2 days ago. I was unable to make one yesterday, but we're going to take a look. We are basically exactly where we were on the last video. So I hope you're all doing well. Let's just jump right into it. All right. ETH. Saturday the 14th. So last Saturday, we were at the same price action, right? So last Saturday last Friday, excuse me, we had to close the week. I think we closed actually the stock market, and then this was actually an after hours for essentially the stock market time frame. But crypto still was running hot into the weekend. But we had this really nice, little finish move here, essentially up to 1655. And what we were looking at was I'll zoom it out a little bit. Right, we had a really nice high time frame range, which I'm still really working off of here, right here. So essentially, we rotated this back to the high, right? Kind of front ran the low here a little bit and ran it through. Had a nice wick, closed back below. Slowly kind of grinded up a little deviation here over the weekend. Got this little area right here, which is a previous range point of control that I'm really looking to see if we could, clear above and stay above. We've only managed to wick through it on the 4-hour time frame since last week. And then what we did was we re-entered the range, and potentially, we're getting a bearish back test right now. So you could see how, we came back in. We kind of discussed this scenario, right? We get a slight little deviation, come back in the range. We actually met our weekly pivot, which has a high statistical hit rate to be met this week. So we did do that on Thursday, I believe, or Wednesday night. So in between the last update and today. And from here, like I said, coming back up to the value area high. So it's our current day open as well. So as far as any more upside in the short term, still really remains the same. Really want to get above like 1588 in the short term, clear the value area high, which is just above where we are, about 1564. Otherwise, we are running the risk of rotating this range back down to the downside, right? So essentially, at the moment, we would anticipate more moves to lower. I'm assuming many may start looking at this as like a bull flag. We discussed how this could, very well start kind of triangling out, like, a little pennant here as well. But for me, as long as we're remaining in this range, the point of control obviously remains a target down to the downside for us that is highlighted just below. It's about 1219. We do have a untapped weekly pivot from last week that we did not meet. So even though they do have those high statistical hit rates for the same time frame, it's still just a statistic, right? So I think it's 70 or 80% hit rate. So this one was one that didn't get hit. But it is still a nice target to the downside if we do come back down. We also have a pretty decent golden pocket down in that region as well. I feel like I might have just erased it on accident, but yeah, this is the one right here. So from low to high comes in around this region also. So EQ of the range, gold pocket, previous weekly pivot that's untapped at the moment, and you got the point of control. All those are really, decent targets if we cannot get above where we are right now. So we are going into the weekend, which is something to note. However, crypto does not sleep. So just something to kind of be aware of there. And this would not be a small move, right? Just back down in the gold pocket, it's a 18% drop. And just that, that's an initial target, in my opinion. If we go lower, not to overlook the 6-month pivot, quarterly VWAP as well. So potential little pit stop along the way. And then even if this was to be had, you could still look at this as a low, high, higher, low, higher, high, and then potentially a higher low in one of these areas if we even came down to them. So that is what I'd be looking for out of ETH. Really, really still that clear, that simple. I feel like it's really that easy. As far as any more upside, we do have our yearly pivot, which I think is, kind of a angsty target at the moment, but it is, something to be known if you start clearing any more higher area here. We were looking at, so we got this range that we're looking at the moment. And then, like I said, I brought up a previous range here. that for any more upside. Okay, and this is another little correlation to the gold pocket, is that this is just at the low of this range as well. So, but if you do clear this region, point of control area, that's that 1589 area I was just talking on. Obviously, we've got our local highs here. But if we do get above this region, I would imagine we actually might rotate back up to like 1780 and potentially a little higher, maybe even 1800. Come take this high, look for a little deviation there as well, and then potentially come lower. So those would be the high side area. So very crisp, very clear 1588. I'd be looking up towards, potentially 1780. Losing daily open, which is essentially our week open as well right now. Then the levels to the downside, are back on deck. At the moment, those are the more likely, in my opinion, would be coming back down potentially towards this gold pocket area. So that's what I'll be looking for over the weekend. Really short and sweet. Like I said, the update and the analysis from Wednesday is, pretty much still valid. And yeah, we've just been building out a little bit more time here. So I'm sure a lot of traders are, entering new positions, both short and long. So, you always get to those points where we get some Darth Mauls and take everybody out before the moves start moving. So, yeah, that's where I'll leave it at, I think. So, do be sure to tune in today for Magic and Max's Bitcoin analysis update at 10 a.m. Eastern. If you didn't see it yesterday, that we had a great interview with Kenneth Suna on a investing standpoint in traditional markets. Some of that can obviously be probably will eventually kind of migrate over to the crypto space. So it's really, really good insight from someone who has just been an investor and trader for many decades, right? So give that a view. Yesterday interview with Kenneth Suna, you'll see that on our homepage. Aside from that, be sure to have a great weekend, and we'll talk again Monday. Cheers, everybody.